Loot boxes have been something that has been on all gamers' minds for the last few months. Ever since Star Wars Battlefront II released and they put the power of leveling up and getting more powerful inside of those loot boxes, gamers have had a serious problem with them pretty much in every game going forward. There's only a few outliers out there like Overwatch that most people feel like do it right, but ultimately I feel like gamers just want loot boxes to go away. That will be the only thing I believe will bring down the pitch of all of these different complaints we're hearing about just loot box systems in different games. Take Anthem. A lot of people feel like that game is going to be dead on arrival because we know there's going to probably be loot boxes in it and it's not going to stand up to the criticism if it does and they don't do it correctly, which it should. But condemning a game before it even releases is something that this community has never done before. Up until this point, loot boxes have really been just relegated to cosmetics, something to make you look better in game, but it has taken a far step to the left ever since 2017 in Battlefront II. So now let's fast forward to 2018 and let's take a look at another game that's coming under a lot of fire for perceived loot boxes being in the game, and that game is Halo 6. A game that hasn't even been announced yet, a game that we know nothing about, but yet developers are having to come out about this game and try to debunk some of the things that people are saying about some of the in-game systems that Halo 6 will be using when it comes to loot boxes. So franchise development director for Halo franchises at 343 Industries, Frank O'Connor, has chimed in on recent rumors related to reevaluations of loot boxes in Halo 6. Now the funny thing about this article is the fact that they're almost tying the Star Wars Battlefront II controversy into what's going on with Halo 6. Like I said, we know nothing about Halo 6 right now. The game hasn't been talked about at all. But they are basically saying that what happened to Star Wars Battlefront is making Microsoft reconsider its revenue model with Halo 6 and how they are actually reevaluating how the loot boxes are working. So this is what Frank O'Connor had to say about it. He's the franchise development director at 343, and I quote, "This is bunk. We are not reevaluating anything significant, and Microsoft isn't designing anything for the next game. 343 is. We watched the EA Battlefront thing with the curiosity you expect, but our current rec system is player focused and well liked and unintrusive as far as these things go. We made zero announcements about our next project and continue to work on our next game and technology with players' needs and interests in mind. However, the story as loosely presented as it is has no bearing or relation to any current efforts. I suppose you can say Company X is evaluating feature U and always has some grain of truth, but we are neither a ping or adapting an unrelated system from another game. This follows a equally vague rumor about an issue with our engine, which in fact is counter to significant ongoing improvements and evolution of our tech. If there was some nugget of truth to both, I just ignore it. Development is rife with normal examples of both these stories, but in this case, there aren't even noticeable small examples that this could have been based on. Certainly in the future, we will be evolving our systems and tech, and maybe these general and vague statements will have a brief applicability, but right now, nah. So it looks like Frank O'Connor's a little tired about all these people coming out trying to just generalize their game and say that, hey, you're gonna have sucky loot boxes in it just like every other game. I would get tired of that too as a developer because first of all, you don't even know what the systems we're gonna use, and we already have a very good rec system in our actual game now, which is Halo 5 that people love, and it's not intrusive like he said, and it's actually something that you can actually grind out for without paying any money. But this basically just stems from a greater issue. Loot boxes right now are not looked at in the best of light. Destiny is going through one of the most horrendous stretches of its existence, and a lot of people thought Destiny 2 was going to bring forth a lot of fixes to the game where it just made the franchise worse, and a lot of that had to stem around just how Eververse was weaved throughout it, and all of the in-game rewards were put behind a paywall, and those things used to be something you could grind for in actual in-game activities, and now you can't do that. Let's not even get into the whole Star Wars thing again. That was just the thing that started everything. Everything just went downhill after that game came out because it was just a colossal failure, literally, in every sense of the word. Well, I guess what I want to say in closing is don't judge a game until it's actually out. Wait for some type of review, wait till you get a chance to get hands-on with the game, wait till you get some type of confirmation from people that actually played the game to actually know if there's a problem with loot boxes or anything in a game like that. Because we all know that perception is reality, and when games get a chance to actually be talked about, they don't want this stigma tied to it. You're going to see a lot more developers coming out really talking about how their system is not going to be like the next system. Now, I wouldn't think that loot boxes is going to be something that ever really goes away because development costs are super high and they got to make money. I wish they did go away, so do a lot of you guys that are actually watching this video, but this is something we're going to have to live with. But what we can do as a community is give constructive criticism and really just give the developers our vote of confidence and say that, hey, I trust you to make this game and I trust you to make it great. And then if they don't do that, then we hold them to the fire. And then we move on to other games, because the one thing that will never end is the amount of games that come out every year. There's always games that get passed over for games that we think we're going to like, or games that are just very anticipated at this time, because we have games that are coming out later this year, don't even have dates, and those are some of the games that I know a lot of people are going to buy and they just can't wait for it to come out. So if your favorite game isn't working the way you want it to work, or you're having issues with some of the systems in the game, or if that game comes out and it comes out to being that the loot boxes or whatever in the game are just terrible, leave your feedback to your developer about the game and then move on to something else, and hopefully it gets fixed and you can come back. But if it doesn't, then vote with your wallet, don't spend your money. But guys, that's what I had to say on this whole subject. I definitely want to start a conversation about just loot boxes in general and how you guys feel about it. Do you buy them in games? Do you want to see it in the next Halo? Are you okay with the way the rec system is set up in Halo 5? Let's talk about that down in the comment section. But guys, as always, thanks for watching this video. Sub to the channel if you haven't. Like this video if you like the content. It definitely helps out the channel a lot. Turn on those notifications. It's gonna let you know the next time my videos go live. It's your boy Gaming Forte. You guys have a great week, and I'm gonna talk to you in the next video. Peace.